Right, so new genre alert on the Marky channel, because today we are talking about Freddy Krueger drama, which is a sentence I never thought I'd be saying. And it all seemingly started when a TikToker called Swag Boy Freddy, who makes these like dance videos. Actually, let's watch one of them. Right, I'm gonna have to mute the music because it's definitely copyrighted, but this is his content. He's got this mask, which looks terrifying, I can't lie. It almost doesn't even look like a mask. But yeah, this is his content. It's unique, to say the least. And honestly, before looking into this situation, I didn't realize that the Freddy Krueger fan base was, like, so big. I'm not really a movie person in general. My attention span is pretty bad, I can't lie. But this situation has definitely made me realize that the Freddy Krueger fan base, or maybe just the horror movie fan base, is really, really big. And it all started when this TikTok account actually posted a video outside the Freddy Krueger house on Elm Street. And as we can see here, it's currently on 4.1 million views, and there's a good reason for that.
If that's what you want, why don't you just buy the house?
I would. Somebody lives
but
in
since you can afford it, maybe you should just
I have another house.
Yeah, but, do I come to your house and say, why do you have your house that way?
No. Oh, this is your house?
Yeah.
You should have a block party.
No.
Why?
Okay, so straight away, there's clearly some context missing to this situation, right? It needs to be said. This does start like halfway through kind of an argument. It sounds like basically what he's saying is, would you like it if I came to your house and said I didn't like that or something like that? So I'm assuming from that, she said she didn't like something about the house, and he's got really annoyed about it, and now they're just having this, like, weird conversation. Now, this man right here is the person who owns the Freddy Krueger house. This is the house in the movies. I believe it was actually, like, destroyed quite a long time ago, like it wasn't in good condition, and then a woman actually bought it and restored it to make it look like the house in the movies, and now this guy is the owner of it. And from what I've heard from people talking about this, literally every single day people will go to this house and get like photos outside and whatnot, so this is like a daily occurrence for him. Now, as much as that sounds like my nightmare, I would hate that with a passion. He would obviously be told this before he bought the house. I think they legally would have to tell him that it's kind of like a tourist attraction almost, right? Or like it's just an attraction in general where people will come up and take pictures. So when we end up looking at the comments on the video, you'll see some people saying, oh, well, it's his house, leave him alone, like let him just get on with his life, you don't need to like voice your opinions at his house. And then you've got other people saying, why did you move in the house in the first place if you don't want people coming up and voicing their opinions and talking about the house? So as this video continues, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section.
Your house is so iconic. You're the owner? I live on the other side of Ogden.
But what happens if I came to your house and I said, I don't like the way that your house looks? That's so fucking rude.
No, your house is adorable.
You're so fucking rude.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Please go away. Please go away.
I can't tell if she's being like patronizing, being like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, I'm sorry, and putting a voice on, or that's just kind of like how she speaks. She might be trying to be nice. It's kind of hard to tell. But I would love to know what's being said for this argument to start. I feel like that would answer a lot of questions here.
How disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Listen, people live here.
I know.
Humans live here.
love your
How dare you?
Okay.
Get out.
Well, you know what? We celebrate
So
life.
disrespectful.
We celebrate life.
So no, you're not. You're very disrespectful. Get out.
Now you have the problem.
Okay, so I think it's fair to say the owner was very annoyed in that situation. And like I also said before, the comment section is a little split. It's definitely more leaning towards the woman's side here. Like people are saying, when you search Freddy Krueger house, it comes up as a tourist attraction. Don't buy the Freddy Krueger house if you don't want to deal with horror fans. I would be jumping on the fans all day like it's my job. But then on the other hand, you've got comments like, am I the only one who gets why he's annoyed? We've also got this comment that's pretty funny because it genuinely was like a thought that came through my mind when I was watching that, saying, why were they having two completely different conversations? Convos didn't match, I'm confused. Yeah, it didn't seem like they were having like a proper conversation. They were saying different things that didn't make sense for each other. I mean, on one hand, he's annoyed saying like, don't insult my house, people live here, and she's saying, oh, you should have a party, invite us all over. Like, it didn't make sense. I mean, who knows, if we actually saw the beginning of the clip and saw how this conversation even started in the first place, maybe we would understand it a bit more. Now, because this video's went so big, a bunch of horror fans have been making like response videos to this situation that are also blowing up. Like, these videos are on like 1 million views each, and this is one of them. This is by The Final Girl 13.
So here's the backstory on what happened. The most famous Freddy Krueger cosplayer here on TikTok went there, and he was taking video and photo in front of the house. And that woman was walking her dog and said, Freddy, welcome home. It's finally time you came home. And then she said, I wish they had some spooky decor to commemorate the theme. And then you see the man jump on her.
Okay, so If that is completely true, which we obviously don't know because we haven't seen any proof, if that's completely true, definitely does seem like a bit of an overreaction, doesn't it? I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't really understand the Freddy welcome home reference. I think that's what she said. But her saying that she wishes there was more spooky stuff in the house would make sense as to what he was saying. Like, why would you come and insult my house? The thing that doesn't make sense is that's not really that insulting. It's just kind of like a passing comment. But it definitely does seem to add a bit of context to the situation. But again, we haven't seen the video, so we can't confirm.
Now let me tell you something. These people knew the house that they were buying. Everybody who purchases this house is made aware of the history of this house. It is one of the most famous houses in LA. There is not a day that goes by that fans are not in front of this house taking photos and taking video.
Oh my god, again, that sounds like my absolute nightmare. I would never do that in a million years, but fair play, clearly there is people out there who will do it, although he doesn't really seem to be too happy about it.
Why buy an extremely famous house like this if you don't want to deal with the fans? Because you just don't care. You're an a-hole. That's what it is.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why you would buy the house if you're not going to be happy with people showing up all the time, because clearly what we're hearing here is that this is going to happen on a daily basis. And it is a little bit of a tricky one, right? Because he still does live there. There's going to be days where he probably doesn't want people coming to the house. And, I mean, it says home at the end of the day. You've got, like, next to no privacy. And in 99% of scenarios, if people were showing up to your house every day, that'd be a really, really bad thing. People would be completely in the wrong with that. But then you've got the added context that this is a Freddy Krueger house that is a bit of, like, a tourist attraction at this point. And apparently he knew this. Apparently that they would legally have to tell him.
But let me tell you this. These people are very vindictive and they do not like the fans at all. They are not like Angie, okay? Angie loved the fans. Angie is the one who bought the house and completely restored the house to what it looks like now. This house is not a historical house. It's not deemed a historical house by the city of LA. But when Angie bought it, it was completely falling apart. She had never seen A Nightmare on Elm Street at all, but she interacted with some of the fans who would come out and take photos in front of the house. And she knew what it meant to us and how important it was to us and how important it was to filmography. So she spent like 2 years, I think, restoring the front of the house to be screen accurate.
Oh, okay, so big up Angie, I guess. She didn't even watch the movie, apparently, and then just because people, like, really liked it, she was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make the house look like the one in the movie. Fair play. I mean, she's probably, like, a beloved hero in, like, the Freddy Krueger community at this point. Now, we also have another video that went pretty viral responding to this situation. It's by Deandra Kruger, and this is what she had to say.
What appears to be happening in this video is that the woman walking her dogs lives nearby, and she was making commentary to some of the creators who are also pictured in the video and or taking the video. They are Swag Boy Freddy, Scary Cute Sam, who is a child, by the way, and his dad is definitely nearby, and then Vic Myers.
Vic Myers? Where did they come up with these names?
Local spooky dude chimed in and gave us some context, saying she was walking her dogs, saw Swag Boy Freddy and said, "Hey, Freddy, you finally returned home," followed by, "I wish they had more spooky decor to pay tribute to the classic film." The owner heard her and then replied with what we see in this video.
Okay, so this is one of the people there who's saying it. Again, we don't exactly have full proof, but if multiple people are saying at this point, it does seem like that's maybe what was said.
Which, based on that alone, seems like a fairly innocent comment, just kind of as a fan walking by being like, man, I wish they would pay more homage to the movies. And speaking of, I would like to give kudos to the owner for painting the door back to red. When he bought it, it was black, and then he painted it back to red. So obviously he understands the significance of this house and it having a red door.
Oh, okay, so the door was the wrong colour. He's painted it back to the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street red door. So he clearly seems to be embracing the whole movie aspect of this house. But, I don't know, maybe he was having, like, a bad day and a comment set him off. And maybe that he's not like that usually. Maybe he does love the fans showing up and that's why he bought the house. Who knows? But yeah, with everything in mind, if that is what the woman said before this situation happened, it definitely is much more of an innocent comment to make than what you would probably assume when you watch the video. It really is. And if the owner of the house doesn't really like fans coming up to the house, I can only assume that it's going to get busier and busier over the next couple of months because obviously Halloween's showing up. But again, if he bought the house knowing that it was this attraction, I'm sure he has to be somewhat okay with it.
I was having a conversation behind the scenes with one of my content creator friends who was there, and they gave me some context that while they were trying to film and take photos, they saw the owner here coming out to put boxes next to the gate, seeming to try to block their shot of the house. Now, he could have been coming out to put some cardboard out there to remind him to take it out to recycling, whatever it might be. I'm not entirely sure, but they seem to think that he was coming out there to try to block their view.
Okay, I mean, you would have to stack the boxes pretty high up to block the view. You could literally just, like, put your hand in the air and take a picture. I feel like it'd be pretty easy. Or I guess unless if they wanted a picture in front of the house. Okay, I understand now. They basically believe that he was trying to ruin their shot, which, I mean, at the end of the day, it's his house. He can do whatever he wants at this point, but obviously the fans are annoyed, especially if the previous owner was so welcoming to people.
I will say I can completely understand why he would put up this gate. Sometimes fans do not have a regard for private property, even though it is an iconic house. It is a beloved house from cinema history. I have seen fans previously go up on the porch and take photos on the porch of the house, which I believe to be trespassing.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy, right? Because, yeah, okay, it's his attraction, but again, it is someone's home still. You can't just walk up and make yourself at home, quite literally. Like, going up to the front door, yeah, that is a bit much. I can see why you would put the gate. I mean, again, I know I've mentioned this so many times, but this is my worst nightmare. I couldn't think of anything worse than this.
And even more than that, people used to go up and actually remove the 1428 from the house to the point where the owners were like, hey, could you please not do this anymore? We have to keep buying new numbers. Please stop taking our numbers. That is theft.
What is wrong with people? You can't just walk up to a house and steal their door numbers. Okay, I mean, we get the situation at this point, right? This bloke has bought this house, probably did know, most likely knew, that this was this famous house from the movies. And seemingly, he was okay with that at first. Maybe he still is, maybe he was having a bad day, who knows. But in this video, he was clearly annoyed at a woman who made a comment. It seems like what she said was she wished the house was a bit more spooky. Now, that comment itself, in my opinion, is very innocent. It's just a passing by comment. But what we're hearing in this video is that there are some people that definitely do take it too far and don't just make passing innocent comments. They'll even, like, steal door numbers or trespass. And I can imagine that would be very, very annoying, regardless if you knew that this house was an attraction in the first place. I mean, yeah, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below, because like I said, the comment sections have been a little split. Definitely more people on the woman's side, but there has also been people saying, like, it's his house, like, he would be annoyed if people showed up. On the other hand, you've got people saying that he knew this when he bought the house. I would love to know what your position is in it. What's your opinions? Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please do a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.